Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always, and welcome to Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk, Season 3, Episode number 8. Coming up today, the Tigers hang on to win Game 1 of the wild card against the Houston Astros in Houston. We discuss what we saw in the game yesterday. The Pistons hosted their media day on Monday, and we give our reactions to what the players said and what we saw. And the Lions finally beat the Seahawks this past Monday. We discuss and give our analysis. We also make our Week 5 NFL picks. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me as always, my man, Ryan Donnelly.
Hope y'all Wednesday's going great. Michael, who are you?
I'm Anthony.
No, you're not. He has a mullet.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Mm-mm.
No, imposter!
Who is seeing right now?
Imposter! Yeah, get out! That's not my Anthony.
We got his doppelganger in here right now.
What is the show?
What's going on, dude?
I got a little bit of a haircut.
There you go.
Had to start something new for the fall season.
This haircut seems familiar. It seems like last time you got a shorter haircut like this, it was because when a certain team began their season,
Yeah,
you decided to cut the hair shorter.
I did. It was an endless cycle, a constant grind, if some would say.
Yes, It absolutely is.
Yeah, I got a haircut. I look a little bit different, folks, so if you don't recognize me, well, you recognize me from the commercial because I looked nothing like me from the commercial, so.
Oh, by the way, I did know about the haircut. I drove him to his haircut.
He did. I don't have a car up here. Nope, I don't.
Right.
So he's my chauffeur, and I pay him handsomely in a fry tax.
Yes, It was delicious.
Right next to me, Mr. Michael Rosenkranz.
A fry tax is very interesting, Ryan, but hey, I'm not going to be one to complain about a fry tax.
If I'm getting paid for anything, it's food.
Hey,
fair enough.
French fries are one of the best culinary concoctions
Indeed.
of all time.
Sorry, go ahead,
Facts.
Michael.
It's comfort food for me, and I have problems with comfort food. It was a good day in the sports world yesterday.
It was.
It was a good day in the sports world. Tigers took care of business after a shaky ninth inning that literally left my chest tight and my hands violently shaking after the game. I could not breathe. But we're going to get to that in thoughts in just a little bit.
Just a little bit. First, we're going to hit our 3 stars. I'll start us off this morning. Why not? My 3rd star, Will Vest, came in right after school bowl and took care of business. It was Bo, right, that gave up all those runs?
It was Foley.
Foley put him on, and then Bo let him, whatever. Will Vest did his job, came on, had an incredible outing, 2 strikeouts, really took over for Skubal in the way that we wanted him to. Will Vest, 3rd star. My 2nd star, Kirby Joseph gave us free French fries.
Yes,
he did. Thank you, Kirby. That's our 3rd free French fry from McDonald's from J. Curb.
Yes.
With the game-sealing interception. All of his interceptions this year have come in the end zone. So getting all the interceptions at the end of the game in pay dirt, hey, we'll take it. There we go, J. Curb. So he's my 2nd star. And on my 1st star, Jared Goff, my goofball. 18 for 18, 292, 2 tuds and a receiving tud. I mean, probably the best game of his career, I'd say. Prime time Monday night against a team that you seemingly can't beat. And he comes out here, needed 2 more for a perfect QBR. That's really annoying, but hey, I'll take it. 18 for 18. We're not going to see anything like it probably for a little bit. I mean, with the QB talent, who knows in this league right now, but nonetheless, Jared Goff, incredible performance on Monday, finally taking care of the Seahawks. But, Ryan, what do you got?
All right, so my 3rd star is Jahmyr Gibbs, who on Monday, 54 carries, 285 yards, average of 5 yards a carry, that is his regular season stats.
I was going to say 285. He went off.
There we go. 14.
That's not the same game I remember.
14 carries, 78 yards, 5 yards average, and 2 touchdowns. Very good. Very solid from Jahmyr Gibbs. My 2nd star, K9, Kenneth Walker, who on Monday 12 carries, 80 yards. His longest carry was his 26 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns. He looked unstoppable for a little bit, and it's clutch for the Seahawks that he's back. So they need him bad, and he's back. So hopefully for the long run for the Seahawks, because without him, this team doesn't really have a run game. Charbonnet is good, but he's
you
not
can't
number
trust
one.
in Zach Charbonnet as your number one running back.
Nope.
No.
And my first star, it's got to be Terry Skubal, man. 6 innings, 6 Ks, 4 hits, 0 runs.
Great.
And
Against
then-
that Houston offense with Jordan.
Yeah.
One of the toughest teams, too, to strike out anywhere. In the
And
league.
with all that experience, I mean, they've been here. Skubal's never been there.
Nope.
And
He
here's
hasn't.
Skubal just throw Cy Young.
If he's not, I don't know who else is.
Right. And it can't be Class A. It just,
No.
baseball would not, no.
It would never be the same again.
Nope. All right, Michael, what do you got for us, huh?
So my third star is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had a good day on Monday. It was 6 receptions, 45 yards, a little less on the receiving side for him.
He was doubled, though.
He was double covered most of the game, but that's to be expected when one of your best wide receivers is in double coverage. How about that trick play that the Lions ran? I was watching it with Anthony and Ryan Monday night.
Little card guys function.
Little card guys function. Monday night card guys function. We were going nuts on that trick play.
Oh, that was
we'll talk
awesome.
about it a little bit later, but he gets my third star for that because he may be QB3 over
Maybe.
Hendon Hooker. Who knows? Who
also,
knows?
don't forget that toe tap he had.
Yes,
Beautiful
the toe
catch.
tap was awesome. Second star is going to go to the Detroit Tigers, and not just the team, their second inning that they put up. 3 RBI singles in a row. I think it was Jake Rogers, Parker Meadows, and Matt Vierling.
Yep, Matty V.
It was just those 3 runs from the start that got us off to a quick start, gave Skubal a little bit more breathing room, and gave him really the opportunity to settle down, and say, okay, I got some insurance runs, I just got to do what I got to do.
Right.
And he did exactly that for 6 innings. Because Tarek Skubal has been dominant all season, and you should expect to win with him on the mound when Tarek Skubal's on the mound. And my first star is going to go to Jamison Williams. There were a lot of moments in that game Monday where he was double covered, but the biggest nail in the coffin was that 70-yard crossing route that he did. How about J-Mo high-stepping it from like the 25 or 30? He was like, I'm gone. Nobody's getting me.
And Amon-Ra pointed out, like, dude, get in the end zone. They're
I
right
know.
behind you.
I know. I was sort of like, get in the end zone, dude. There's people right behind
He was
you.
almost tackled.
I know. He was almost tackled.
And then the tribute to Calvin.
The
too,
tribute
dunk.
to Calvin, the dunk over the crossbar was awesome.
That was awesome, yeah.
Just to show tribute to Calvin Johnson, inducted into the Pride of the Lions Monday as well. Really wish we could have seen the ceremony.
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
The
it's on
Lions
YouTube.
posted it. I watched it.
Okay.
It was great.
I'll have to watch it.
Oh, yeah. It's a must-watch. Especially because, I mean, Calvin's my favorite player of all time.
No doubt.
Growing up watching Calvin Johnson, there's a reason why so many people our age love the Lions. It's because of Calvin.
Oh, yeah.
It's because of Calvin. He was so good, but...
He was.
Also, Jamison Williams and his blocking, too. He had a couple key blocks in that game as well.
He really did.
So he got one of the game balls from Campbell as well. Mm-hmm. So, obviously, Jamison Williams getting it done. That's your first star, right?
That is correct.
All right, let's get into the Tigers. Playoff game 1 belongs to us.
Yes, sir!
Tigers are in the playoffs.
I don't know.
We're in the playoffs. I'm showing a little bit more excitement here this morning because we're in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just appreciate that right now. The Tigers are not only in the playoffs, we're not just happy to be here. We are here because we're winning. We won a playoff game. The amount of playoff experience that you get from just winning one game, especially on the road against a team that's been here for years, for almost a decade they've been here. Close to it. They're going to get there probably. They're notoriously good. They play for this moment. They're always here. This is where they know how to win. And the gritty Tigers come in and they steal a game. Even if we lose the next 2 games, there's nothing to be upset about. Mm-mm. Even if we do. We're not supposed to be here, right? In August, I think it was, oh boy, what am I trying to think of here?
Were you thinking of the probable chance, maybe?
No, I was, so there was a point in this season where I didn't even tune in to watch us win. I was just tuning in to see how the young guys would play, and I thought the season was done for. Right? And to see this team that we thought was just, hey, we'll get Young some at-bats, we'll get Dingler some at-bats, we'll get Sweeney some at-bats, just, kind of usher them in, get them some experience going to next year, because, Scott Harris about that youth movement, right? He wants the young guys to really grow. So that was his plan. Who would have thought that we'd make it here to the playoffs? And not only that, but we're winning.
Yeah.
We have a good chance to win this series. And it's all on the backs of these young guys and A.J. Hinch. A.J. Hinch deserves all the flowers in the world because he is managing this team like what they said on the broadcast. He's managing per pitch. He is managing his you-know-what-off per pitch, per at-bat, per inning, per game, per week. He is treating this thing like this is his last year managing. I hope it's not. It probably is not. But he's treating this as if every game, every inning is the last inning that they'll ever play. And that's what's winning them games. He knows off the top of his head what pitcher to use against what scenario, who's the best pitcher to put in, who's the best pitcher to warm up. And that is something that this young team, they needed the guidance. And they have the guidance. And just incredible work by A.J. Hinch.
And like you said, especially because they're playing the Astros. A.J. Hinch was the former manager of the 2017 World Series champion, the Trash Can Astros. And guess what? Most of the team is still there. Bregman's still there. Alvarez is still there. Altuve is still there.
Alvarez was on the team back then?
I think he was.
You were on.
I think he was. Oh, now I'm getting fact-checked again.
Call it the 2024 presidential debate.
Yep. Oh, I was going to say J.D. Vance. But Justin Verlander is on that team. That core is still there. So Hinch knows, okay, I have Verlander coming up. He's not even on the roster. I'm just using him as an example. He is I believe, a righty? Is Verlander a righty?
Yeah.
Verlander's a righty. Let's go.
He wasn't on the team.
Let's go Parker
Meadow. He was
Meadow.
a rookie in 2019.
Oh, well, he was on the 2022 roster.
He was.
But Hinch didn't manage it. That was all Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
But, here's a righty. Let's send out Parker Meadows, who's our resident lefty. Mm-hmm. He knows this Astros team really well, which helps a lot. And now you have all this momentum. Like you say, you win a playoff game, you have playoff experience. Mm-hmm. You got a bullpen game where most of your bullpen players played yesterday. And we have another bullpen day. Tyler Holton's starting for us, and Hunter Brown is St. Clair Shores native. 5'8", Hunter Brown is starting for the Astros. I love the 5'8".
Good.
Fair enough.
Shout out everyone at home. See you this Thursday. But this pitching matchup is so good. This bullpen games where you can throw off the Astros. The Astros has not played a Tigers bullpen game yet. A bullpen game yet.
There you go.
So it's going to be confusing on their end, because what if you have Holton going for 2 innings, and then they have Kyle Tucker up, and here comes Sean Gunther. Throw him off. I'm excited to see what happens. We could possibly clinch today. I hope that's the case.
We already clinched.
Or move on to the ALDS. I call it clinching. I don't care. I call everything. If you win a series, I call it clinching. Sorry.
Yes,
I call it that. If you don't like that, get out. But they could clinch today. They could play whoever. It's the Guardians of the Yankees. I'm not sure. I've heard 2 different scenarios. But I hope today's the day we move on. If we lose the series, I will not be mad one single bit. Even if we lost yesterday, I would have been I'm going to quote Isaac, we weren't supposed to be here, we weren't supposed to be here, we weren't supposed to be here. We aren't supposed to be here. The fact that we're up on the Astros, who has over 500 playoff games together combined, is crazy. Well, we have 12. I love what I've seen. Also, one more tiny thing. ESPN, I hate the win percentage thing on top of your scoreboard.
It's so bad. It's so terrible.
It's annoying, I want to say. Because, when the Astros had that tiny run, the percentage was going down, and I was stressed. Because it feels like my grades. It's going down, and then skyrockets up.
Right.
So, I please get rid of it.
I don't like it. I mean,
I don't
one
like
swing
it.
of the bat, and all of a sudden that like 3% that they had in the ninth would turn into 100% because they would have won the game. It's not accurate for now with basketball or even football. Maybe I could see it, but with baseball, it's such an unpredictable sport. One swing of the bat can change a game. Right, so a 95% win percentage when they got 2 men on, one guy out, and they're only down by 2 in their half of the ninth. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Michael, you got anything else before we move on?
One of the things I'm interested about is the bullpen days. You talk a lot about the bullpen days for the Tigers. It's been a unique situation for this team where you can use the bullpen days to not only throw your team off, but rest your starters more and more for future games. And I think that's exactly what the Tigers are doing right now.
Yeah.
You want to throw out the bullpen day, try your best to move on possibly today so you can save your other starting pitchers for the ALDS, which would be against the Guardians. If we were to move on, the Yankees would play against the winner of KC and Baltimore. And this is going to be interesting. And Spencer Torkelson, quite honestly, while he didn't really get a lot of runs in, and I was very upset about that, he 100% saved the game. Because that would have been probably a walk-off bases-clearing double or triple by Jason Hayward.
Yep.
And
it was a rocket, too.
it was a rocket.
That was a missile.
It was a rocket. I had to have Dan Dickerson on my ears because I couldn't get the feed last night from the game, which I was so upset about. I'm going to work on that today. But this is what, Tigers fans, this is what October baseball is going to be like. These heart-thumping moments where you're on the edge of your seat the entire time. This is what playoffs are going to be like. You have a chance to move on today. Get the offense going. You're riding off good momentum after yesterday. Just keep winning. Tigers fans, welcome to October baseball.
And one more thing before we move on. With a young team, right, in a situation where you have, the experienced big guys coming up in the scenario that they were in, the fact that these young guys, and the fact that, wasn't it Brisk that closed it out?
Brisky closed it out.
The fact that they held on, and the fact that we didn't really fold. We let them score. We gave up a run. Brisky gave up a run, or was it Foley that gave up the run? Foley gave up the run?
Yeah.
I thought it was Foley's runners and Brisky. A combination of two of our young pitchers gave up a run. The fact that this young team held on, that was a mature win. And I was genuinely shocked. This team's never been to the playoffs, and they pull off a mature win. A great win by the Tigers. They're on again today, same time and place, 2:32 in Houston. You've got game 2. You can take it home right now. Get a couple days off before you got Cleveland. And that means playoff baseball's coming to Detroit if we can win in the next 2 games.
Please.
My bank account's saying for the Tigers to lose. Anyways.
It's real.
Moving on to some Detroit basketball! The Detroit Pistons held their media day on Monday. And Detroit Pistons media team, do I have a bone to pick with you?
Oh, God.
Where was the stream? I wanted to watch. I had to depend on Twitter reporters sending out videos of these guys talking. Every single team had a stream for their media day. And you're telling me the Pistons can't set up a camera and live stream? Even if it's not like a heavily produced thing. Set up a camera, hit stream on YouTube, let us watch. I couldn't watch this thing. I had to Twitter watch it. Shout out Omari, friend of the program. Thank you for live tweeting this thing. That's the only reason I knew what was going on was because of the live tweets. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. When every other team is live streaming theirs, every other fan base can watch. Why can't we? Unacceptable from the new Pistons media team. Unacceptable. Anyways, besides the point, the Pistons.
Well, what do you expect from
Unserious organization.
What do you expect from the Pistons media team who was an hour late to Trajan Landon's introductory press
they're
conference?
notoriously late.
So I expected the bare minimum, which was an actual stream.
Yeah. Don't expect anything with the Pistons media team. Anyways, regardless, interesting media day. One, me to say, those new City Edition jerseys are sexy. Woo! I am buying a Cade one, and I might even buy another player. I love these jerseys.
I call dibs on Malik Beasley. I want a Malik.
You can buy one right now.
I want a Malik Beasley City Edition jersey.
And he thug shaked next to Cade in their little hype video that they did.
Beasley's my Piston, by the way.
That is Malik Beasley is great. Who would be other than Cade? Because Cade's obviously my Piston.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he's everybody's Piston in a way.
Not mine.
I'd say if I had to pick one player that's not Cade, it's either Beef Stew or Simone.
I was gonna say either one. I was gonna mostly say Simone Fontecchio.
Yeah, it's probably Simone 1A, Stew 1B. But one thing I noticed from Media Day, one thing I took away, the veteran presence, for one. The veteran presence that is here. Almost every single young player, Ivy, Duran, even Stewart, even though he's a veteran now, Cade, even though he's a veteran leader. I'd say he's going into his 4th year, I'm pretty sure Cade is. He's a veteran now. These veterans are actually here. You know, I heard a story about, Asar talking about Tobias Harris. And he said that Tobias said, hey, Asar, come shoot with me. He said no veteran did that last year. No veteran said for the young guys to come shoot with them. Or to come bond and even shoot or work out. Now maybe they did. We don't know everything. But based on what they're saying, Asar said that like that's never happened before. One, shame on the veterans last year and the year before. Shame on them. Because they had an opportunity to take these guys under their wing and they failed astronomically. Shout out to Tobias Harris. I'd say Tobias Harris one of my Pistons too. He was back when he was on the team originally. Kind of sad when we traded him, but I loved Blake to begin with, so it was kind of like a nice little trade-off. But now that Tobias is back, I might get a Tobias jersey. I already have one, but I'll get a new one with the number 12 because his veteran presence on this team is going to be so crucial. And the fact that he's already hey Asar, come shoot with me, man. Come shoot with me. Let's hang out and shoot. That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. Fred Vincent's also doing his job. Asar said he's already been working a lot with Fred Vincent. And Ronald Holland, said that he's working on his shot a lot too. That is incredible to hear. It truly, truly is incredible to hear. The veteran presence on this team is so, so important. So important. And I love what JB is doing. The guys are together right now. I think this is like, you said this, he's the perfect coach for this team. You said this, I'll give you credit for that. He is the perfect coach for this team, and I couldn't agree more. Because he's got this team together. Everybody wants to be there. It looked like everybody wanted to be there this year. Everybody likes each other. This team, there seems to be a cohesion that there wasn't the past 10, 15 years. There's never really a cohesion. And it just seems like these are just a group of guys that love basketball and are really loving each other. And that's what leads to a magical run. That's what leads to extreme improvement. And I could see this team making a play-in run. I'm not saying we're going to make the plan. I could see them making a play-in run because everything just seems to be clicking right now. It just seems every single year, it seems that we're just kind of going like this, right? Seems like we're going like this now. Fins up, baby. Seems like we're going like this now. We're on the same road, right? The veterans were going this way while the rookies were going this way on the freeway. Nah. Veterans took an exit, took a little loop around. Now the veterans are right here, right? And now we're on the same side of the road. Now we're working together. And I am so excited for this season. I cannot wait until Sunday.
And you also forgot to mention the identity and the culture of this team is insanely better.
They're all talking about how it's changing, and they want to change it. They want to change it.
There's a video out there where it was B-Ball Paul, Cade, Beasley, Tobias, Stewart, Duran. I think there's 7 guys. Simone, Fontecchio. It was all these guys. They were taking their big picture together. They were all clapping each other up.
That's when he was thug shaking.
That's when he was thug shaking. Yeah, that's why I love Malik Beasley, man. He's gonna Malik Beasley. My Pistons go Beasley, Cade, Tobias Harris. Anyways, and just they're all like so excited to be here. And hearing from Cade and hearing from Tobias saying that he wanted to be in Detroit made me so happy. Like, this team has a proper culture, unlike Monty, where they felt lost. With Bickerstaff, who can put together a phenomenal offense, knows how to work with these young guys along with Fred Vincent and Trajan Landon, who has a plan for this team. Like, I am so excited. After what I saw last night, or on Monday, I am so excited for the Pistons. And I've never said that. For the past couple of years, the Pistons feel like a chore to me. Now I can actually enjoy this team because we have the proper veterans. And one more thing, to quote Tim Hardaway Jr., who's also going to be one of my Pistons because he went to Michigan. Sorry, I know that he's bad, but I don't care. There's only one Luka Doncic, but I definitely see a little bit in Cade. His height, how strong he is with the ball playing against him. He has what it takes. There's no Luka, but he can dang near be close.
Cade is his own player.
Cade is his own player, but according to Tim Hardaway,
he's got a little bit of Luka in him, but he's like, this is how I'll compare him to Luka. He is Luka in the sense that he is his own player. Like, you can't compare any other player to Cade because his game is so unique to Cade. He is Cade, right? He might have a little splash of CP3 when it comes to playmaking. He might have a little splash of Luka when it comes to size and control. But he is Cade. His game is Cade. His jumper, his mid-range game, his playmaking, his heart. It's all unique to Cade. You can't really compare Cade to another player. That's what I'm noticing. That's what, as he's kind of developing into his own player. You can't. It's going to be kind of like a Luka, where you can't compare Luka to anybody because Luka's Luka. You really can't. Also, the first Malik Beasley thug shake after a 3-ball, I'm living for it. It's going to be great.
I will be here. Also, shout out Amon-Ra. Shout out Kuz from Pistons Powered. Shout out all these beat writers. Kind of saved the day on Monday. I had every single beat writer on. I wanted to, hear from everybody. Shout out Kuz. Shout out Amon-Ra. Shout out Nick from Woodward Sports. You guys are great. Thank you so much. You guys are troopers.
Yeah, they really are. I will say B-Ball Paul is also one of my Pistons. I love B-Ball Paul. Great nickname. He's like Stewart if Stewart was on the Sixers. They're the same player. I think one of them's going to get traded, though, by the end of the season, which is going to hurt my soul. But, Michael, anything on the Detroit Pistons?
So what's going to be interesting with this Pistons team, I was a little, a little more iffy on the comparison to Luka because Cade needs to learn how to score more efficiently.
He does.
Because right now, just looking at this too, Luka was averaging 8.7 free throws a game last season, and Cade was just about 4.4.
Well, I mean, okay.
Luka gets to the line a lot more often.
He has the respect of the refs. Now, this is another thing that needs to change, and it'll change with wins. Cade continuously was manhandled at the rim, continuously fouled, slapped, hit, arm hit instead of the ball. Refs weren't calling anything. Notoriously last year, the refs were not giving any calls to Cade, and that's one thing that the fans were like, give calls to Cade. Cade is getting, can't say the word that they were using, Cade is getting manhandled down low, and they're not calling any calls. That's what explains that. Cade would have about 8 to 10 with the amount that he's fouled and the amount of contact he draws, but the refs aren't calling it. And it makes sense, right? Luka's winning. Luka's one of the best players in the league. I think he is the best player in the league. He's going to get the calls. Mm-hmm. He's going to get the calls. Cade is on the worst team in NBA history, modern NBA history.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't put it any better because it's not fun when the league openly and forcibly disrespects you. And that was another quote that came out of it. Media day, we know amongst our peers, that we are not well respected at all. So what I heard basically yesterday, it's interesting because it's like, I'll believe it when I see it. Because right now it's just all talk. You need to be able to go out there and prove yourselves and say, hey, we're putting last season behind us, albeit put up one of the worst losing streaks in modern sports, tied with the process Sixers. You got to be able to prove yourself. And one thing I took away from this too is, Anthony, you and I talked about this a little bit. We all talked about this a little bit off the air. How Cade and some of the guys were, going to the Tigers games, going to the Lions games, and seeing the shift that they're doing in their areas. Tigers in the wild
Support
card.
from the fans.
Lions making the playoffs last year as far as the NFC Championship game. Already starting off 3-1 this year. So they know what playoff atmospheres and constantly winning will do to the city of Detroit. They want to be a part of that. But for me, I will believe it when I see it. There's a lot of good things to come out of this media day, but they just need to be able to prove that point to a T to be able to get me interested.
They've got to walk their talk.
Exactly. Now, I'll probably watch some games because I'm a sicko who has to prepare for this show to watch the Pistons whenever we talk about them. So I will more than likely watch games, but they got to walk the talk. They got to prove it to me, or it's just going to be another year of disappointment.
And Cade wants that playoff atmosphere.
He does.
I mean, look at some of the games. Opening night, you've got the Cade bobblehead night last year that me, Ryan, and friend of the program, Isaac Haffenden, were at. The fans show up, and they're loud. They care. They go, and they care. We were 15th in attendance this past year. 15th in attendance.
Wow.
You just went down.
My chair went down. There we go.
But okay, I'll put a button on it real quick before we go to break. I'll put a button on it with this. There's a story that Tobias Harris gave, and I love this story, and I feel like that this is what we need here. So Tobias was talking about why he came back to Detroit. And he said, well, my career really took off here, but also he got married here. Whenever he came back to Detroit, it was always kind of nice because, hey, this is where we got married. This is where, we started our family. That's one of the reasons why he came back, because his family started here and he wants to raise his family here. I hope players hear that. And they're like, maybe Detroit isn't too bad to go to. We just got all these big name free agents. I'd say they're pretty popular players, played on pretty good teams. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is going to be the start of free agents also coming to Detroit, because they're seeing we could have a good connection with some young guys, and we could build something. Next offseason's pretty important. You need to get your finishing pieces and then really put together a winner. Mm-hmm. And I think this media day is definitely going to help with that, because players are going to be like, they're having fun over there. That's one of the worst teams in the league, but they're smiling and laughing and having fun, and those are good answers. And those veterans don't look miserable. Tobias said he wants to build his family there. Okay. Maybe, right? They'd consider it more, but that's all for Pistons. Hey, coming up after the break, we're going to talk some pigskin. All right, we're going to talk some football. We got some Lions. We got our Week 5 NFL picks and preview. We're going to talk some pigskin. Keep it right here. You're watching Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk. We'll be right back after this break. Sports cards, signed jerseys, signed helmets, and more. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles is your one-stop shop for all things the hobby. Make sure to check them out down Mission Street in Mount Pleasant, right past Meyer. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Join Michael Rosenkranz,
Sports take precedence over academics.
I agree, but
Ryan Donnelly,
Corbin Burns, who is their big ticket J13 item. Scooble is with us. Scooble's our big ticket.
Did you just call Tarek Scooble James?
And Anthony Schulte.
I have an issue.
You have.
There is no break. It's a constant grind. It's an unbreakable cycle.
Yeah, it's.
As they navigate through the Detroit sports landscape. Live Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 a.m. on 101.1 The Beat in Mount Pleasant and at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk.
Welcome back, Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk. Ryan Donnelly, Michael Rosenkranz, Anthony Schulte here with you on this hump day. I do want to say before we get into some football, WWE's got a PLE coming up this weekend.
Oh, yes.
Bad Blood. Oh, baby, it's going to be a fun one. We've got Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, the Bloodline. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes teaming up together.
Gotta acknowledge my tribal chief.
Gotta acknowledge the only tribal chief. I almost wore my OTC shirt today.
Arguably two of the biggest stories of this campaign so far for WWE, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
I feel like the Rock's after the Rumble this year, this kind of season. After the Rumble, the Rock's coming in. I feel like he's gonna
Oh,
come
that'd
back.
be insane.
We got to have Rock versus Roman at some point. We got to have Rock versus Cody Rhodes at some point. So he's probably going to make his little comeback. But we also have, I think, what's going to be the best match, the Hell in the Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Ooh, that will be a good
We've got
one.
a fun one. Hell in the Cell is always a fun match, and these two hate each other. Canonically, they hate each other.
Canonically, they hate each other. In real life, they're good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing that photo of them standing together kind of ruined it. But
Yeah.
that's going to be a fun one. We got some title matches. Nia Jax versus Bayley. I feel like Tiffy Time is going to cash in on whoever wins. Tiffy Time's going to come out with her little briefcase and cash in. Finally. I feel like it's time for her to cash in. If she doesn't, it's probably going to be at the Rumble, in my opinion. But it's going to be a fun Bad Blood on Saturday. I'm excited for it. In Atlanta, nice little earlier PLE, a 6 p.m. start time.
Ooh, nice.
So it's not going to go deep into the night, but I feel like it's just going to go even longer than normal ones. I think this is going to be a longer, maybe 4 hours, 4 or 5 hour PLE.
4 hours.
I think it could be a very long one.
This match card is absolutely stacked. You got Bayley, Nia Jax. You forgot to mention Damian Priest and Finn Balor.
Oh.
That, I feel like, hot take.
All right.
Hot take, I think that's going to be match of the night. I think
Very
there's
well
going to
could
be
be.
lots of Judgment Day interference. You got Liv and Rhea with Dom hanging from a shark cage.
I forgot about that.
Oh, no.
I didn't watch it on Monday yet. I'm watching it after the show. So I completely forgot about Dom hanging in a shark cage.
I cannot wait for Hell in a Cell.
That's gonna be fun.
CM Punk, Drew Mc first Hell in a Cell match since Demon Finn Balor and Edge at WrestleMania 39. Like, I've been looking forward. I just got back into wrestling after WrestleMania 39, so this is my first Hell in a Cell match back as a fan. So I am extremely excited for this PLE. Sucks that, well, I kind of chose this, but I'm going to a concert later that night. I'm only going to go when Anderson .Paak and the Free Nationals on the Malibu tour, Freedom Hill. Luckily, I live a mile down the road, so I can just get up and walk, which is great for my body, and so I can watch more wrestling. But
There it is.
I'm probably going to miss the Hell in a Cell match. I'm probably going to miss the Cody Roman Fatu Bloodline, whatever the heck it is. But nonetheless, I'm still excited. I just got to know, when does Anderson .Paak come on stage?
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Bad Blood on Peacock. So a little wrestling today because I'm just so excited for that PLE. All right, let's get into some Lions football. How about that?
Let's get it.
So the Lions finally beat the Seahawks.
We did it.
Finally!
Oh, there goes the mic. Finally beat the Seahawks.
After that win, it just felt like a
Yep. Finally
sigh
got them
relief.
off our back.
sigh of relief.
A shootout, you could say. 42-29 final score between the Lions and Seahawks. There's so much to cover. Number one, the defense in the first half. Second half got a little loose. The defense did. However,
Really
they held up when they needed to. First half defense, incredible. Stopped them when we need to stop them. Forced that fumble on DK that led to points. Great start from the defense. They gave up career days to Geno Smith and company, but still, the defense held up when they needed to hold up. Kirby Joseph, thank you very much. The offense was humming, and this is the offense of last season. Took a few games to kind of get into it, but now they're confident, and you let the Lions get confident, and when they're confident, they pull out the trick plays, and nobody's guarding the trick plays. And the trick plays, what was it called? Alcatraz?
Alcatraz.
You found that out today? Calling it Alcatraz, and you got Amon-Ra throwing an absolute dime right in the breadbasket to the goofball, Jared Goff. Oh, man. It was such a fun game to watch. Put up 42 points, too. That's pretty good.
Fun game, that's for sure. Jared Goff was perfect. Geno Smith looked fine, I guess. Man, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it proud as I can. The Seahawks had a better O-line, and if their D-line was healthy, we'd lose.
You think the Seahawks have a better O-line than the Lions?
No, I'm saying if they had a better O-line.
Oh.
Not saying, the Lions have the best offensive line in football. The Seahawks have one of the worst, but great win nonetheless. You have the momentum going into the bye. You got Dallas in Week 6. not much to say. Montgomery had lots of strong runs, proving that he's, once again, both strong and fast. Gibbs going to the outside most drives, and that's where he's good at. Let Gibbs run to the side. If any NFL coaches are watching this, don't let Jahmyr Gibbs have all your guys just go to one side and then Gibbs will just run to the other. Please and thank you. Like I mentioned, as one of my 3 stars, K9 had a good game. Woof. Sorry, Braun Breaker. Kenneth Walker also had a great game. Surprised we limit DK Metcalf to no touchdowns. He was close to having one, but nonetheless, 0 tuds from Mr. Metcalf. Got all this momentum going in the bye, and I'm excited to see what happens. And one more thing before Michael. Terrion Arnold. If you're listening to this, discipline. 8 penalties in 4 weeks. I thought we fixed this until Monday when you had 2 costly penalties. You and Carlton Davis, but to be fair, both of you guys backed it up with great lockdown play. If you and sometimes Carlton can clean up penalties, PIs, horse collars, this will be the most complete team in the NFL. Great offense, great defense, just costly penalties. And if Terrion Arnold could fix the penalty problem, he could be one of the best corners in the NFL. When he's not getting penalties, he's a lockdown corner. He is a dog. Oh, he's amazing. He's so good at what he does. He just gotta. I mean, he's a rookie. I get it, but at the same time, just gotta clean it up, and he will be. This defense will be so good, so good. And they should have called holds on Hutch, but I'm not a ref.
It was a treat that the Lions won that game because the Lions got penalized 12 times for 101 total yards.
Unacceptable.
That is unacceptable. You gotta clean that up. Good thing Lions are going into a bye. Gotta let the defense get healthy before you go off to Jerry World in Week 6.
I think the Lions are going to win convincingly.
I sure hope so.
I think so, too.
And that's coming from a Cowboys fan, huh?
Oh, well, I'm rooting for the Lions that game.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Thought it was going to be a toss-up 50-50.
No.
But if the
It's
Lions
Lions
lose, you're not
100%.
going to be upset, are you?
I'll be very mad if the Lions win. Or if the Lions win, I'll be very happy. Guys, it's 8:09 a.m.
It's early in the morning.
I went to bed pretty late. Sorry.
One of the things I do want to... one of the things that intrigued me from Goff is how the fact that he said, this is per football talk, this is per pro football talk, I should say. Goff went and said, quote, we have these big plays in the game plan, and they don't always come up. There has to be the right scenario for them. The hook and ladder was one, and so was Alcatraz. Mm-hmm. So there's obviously... And the fake punt. There's obviously more hidden in the playbook that we don't know, that obviously Ben Johnson knows about, that he's going to surprise us at the right moment. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about Ben Johnson. He's such an offensive mastermind that it was a blessing that he came back to Detroit, because I didn't think he was going to stay here after all. His phone kept blowing up with all the head coaching offers, and those offers will only continue to skyrocket this offseason.
Yeah.
But that's one of the big things I love about this Lions team. They have such a high-octane offense, and not only that, it's not only the basic stuff, they are able to throw in a little trick plays. It's a fun offense. And with the best offensive line in the NFL to back it up, you're buzzing. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what the Lions are doing right now. You finally got the plague off of your back. That was the Seahawks for the better part of 6 games in a row. They were going for 3 in a row at your place, but finally snapped that streak. So there's a lot to be proud of. How about Goff going 18 for 18? He's the first quarterback in NFL history to do that, to have a perfect game and nearly put up 300 yards.
That's true, yeah.
Incredible.
And, what was I going to say? You got to be kidding me, dude.
Uh-oh, is the mind going blank on an early Wednesday morning?
Yep. I was about to say something, but I can't remember. So
Let's see if it'll come back to you. Lions go into Dallas. I don't like Dallas. Dallas, to me, is a very weak team. And as long as you can show some confidence like you did on the road again.
and isn't Micah and why am I forgetting his name? Dexter Lawrence?
DeMarcus Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence. Aren't both of them going to be out? Isn't DeMarcus Lawrence heading to the IR, and isn't Micah out for a couple weeks?
Yeah, Micah's
Micah
going to have an MRI in his ankle.
And DeMarcus Lawrence is projected to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Ooh, yeah, that defense isn't. And didn't their top cornerback
Trayvon Diggs.
So one of their cornerbacks got injured on Thursday Night Football.
To be honest, I don't pay attention to the Cowboys.
That wasn't Trayvon Diggs, was it?
I don't know.
Did he wear number 7?
I don't remember who it was. It was one of their top corners. Oh my goodness! Look, my brain.
Guys, it's early. We apologize.
Come on, man.
The Cowboys are weak. They are banged up. Offensive line has, outside of Zach Martin, isn't that great.
They only have one receiver too, if you think about it. They don't.
Yeah,
use
they got
Brandon
Lamb.
Cooks.
That's it.
That's it.
Brandon Cooks doesn't get used.
You double up on Lamb, and if Brandon Cooks goes off, he goes off.
Yeah, and they don't even have a running back room. Pollard's gone. Like, Zeke is not going to help you. He's not great. But I think the Cowboys are beatable.
I think
Very
it's DeRon
beatable.
Bland.
Especially, yeah, it
That
might
got
be
injured.
DeRon Bland.
Since
But
he's injured here.
But I think the Lions do have the edge, and I feel like we are going to shock the world, that Jerry world. If we can beat the Seahawks, we can beat anybody.
Yeah, we really can, and I think it's. I think it'll be a game. The Cowboys always give us a run for our money. The Pistons, I don't think, are playing that day, so we can't curse ourselves like what we did when we snapped the 28-game win streak and then decided to lose against the Cowboys.
Well, that was on roughing.
I understand that, but the Pistons aren't going to be able to interfere with this matchup. There's going to be no interference. So hopefully the Lions can utilize this bye week, get healthy, kind of shore up some discipline and shore up the mistakes that were made against the Seahawks and in the first 3 games of the season too, and go into Jerry's world, get a win. Again, we'll talk about that more as the date approaches, but I don't think a bye week could have come at a better time. I really think it's good to have it now, get on a roll towards the end of the season, and hopefully this bye week can fix some things up, get us a little bit more healthy. It sucks that we lost Marcus Davenport. It really does.
Yes.
But, I mean, what can you do? You can't maybe attack an edge rusher at the deadline.
Especially if Ragnow's week to week and we have that bye week, we could get him back by Dallas, which will be
That'd be huge.
Exactly.
That'd be huge. And how about Dan Campbell? This is going to sound like an awkward milestone. He's the second coach in the last, I think it's 50 years to now have a cumulative 500 record, which is not a spicy record. It's not very sexy record, but let's think of the franchise that Dan Campbell took over.
And where it was.
In his first 24 games, Dan Campbell was 4-19-1 with the Lions. Now, aside Jim Caldwell, Dan Campbell is 27-27. Jim Caldwell went 36-28 in his tenure with the Lions. Those are the only 2 coaches that have coached a 500 record or above.
That's kind of
so
wild.
A little piece of history for Dan Campbell and just where he started to continue where he's going now. He's on an upward trend with this organization. The culture has completely changed.
Oh, yeah.
People want to run through a wall for him. And for all of Detroit sports, this is such a great movement right now. Players want to run through a wall for their coaches.
Yep.
And with the opportunities that many of these teams had to either reach the postseason or were in the postseason, you got to have that energy. It's transpiring all throughout Detroit. And that's what I love so much about this.
Indeed. So the Lions, they don't play this week. Like we said, bye week. They play against the Cowboys coming up, but a good win on Monday Night Football nonetheless. Let's get into our Week 5 preview and picks. It's going to be a tough week for picks. There's a lot of matches that could go, or matchups that could go either way. Let's start off with Thursday Night Football here. Tampa Bay going into Atlanta against them Dirty Birds. And you know what? I'll say this. I've been high on Atlanta all season. I think they're going to win that division. Give me the Falcons. Only 29% of America has picked the Falcons.
Would you call that an upset?
Nope.
All right.
I have my upset of the week.
I'm going to take a look real quick for my upset, but give me the Bucks.
Anthony, your train on the Falcons has intrigued me, to say the least.
I love that team. I think that team is built up very well.
They are built up very well, and albeit there was a bone to pick with the Birds
There was.
not too long ago
There was.
on a big botched fourth down call in prime time. But you know what? I am all for the Falcons bandwagon. Anthony, I'm hopping on with you, dude.
Thank you.
Give me the Falcons.
There it is.
I want to see how this rides out. Are the Falcons at home again, you
Yes.
said?
Yes.
So I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
they have success at home.
almost beat the Chiefs if it wasn't for the refs.
They did.
All right, we're moving on to our next matchup. Ladies and gentlemen,
Dang it, you took
No!
You took
give
my
me
upset!
the upset of the week.
No!
Jets taking on the Vikings. I'm notorious for picking the correct upset of the week. Listen, the Vikings always start off hot. They had that 6-game win streak with Josh Dobbs last season. They always seem to start off hot but fall off a cliff. Sam Darnold notoriously falls off a cliff after week 4. It happened in Carolina. It happened in New York. It's going to happen again. Give me the Jets. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Give me Alan Lazard. Garrett Wilson. Mike
terrible.
Williams is going to get a tud this week. He's in my fantasy lineup because of all the bye weeks. Mike Williams is getting a tud this week. I think the Vikings are going to take one on the chin and finally lose. Give me the New York Football Jets. Jets. Jets.
Well, you took my upset.
Haha.
Now I got to repick you an upset. And now I have to take the Vikings.
You don't have to take them. You could hop on my bandwagon.
I don't want to hop on your bandwagon because
I mean, if you did the past couple of weeks, you'd have another win on your record.
I have in my head I have a rule where I can't pick anyone's upset.
That's
so
fair.
I can't pick. I'd pick the Jets. However, I can't pick your upset. If you didn't pick the upset, I'd pick the Jets.
That is not a rule, folks. That is his rule.
That's
That is
my
not
rule.
That is not a pick 'em
I cannot pick anyone else's upset, but anything can happen in the NFL. But for now, I have to pick the Vikings.
Anthony, I hopped on your bandwagon with the Falcons. Will I do it 2 times in a row?
The Jets put up a convincing case to win this matchup.
I just can't see myself doing it twice. I got to go with the Vikings here,
Especially because it's indoors, too.
especially since it's indoors where they're used to playing.
All right, and, hey, Aaron Rodgers has experience against the Vikings.
He does.
He does.
Just saying.
He does.
All right, our next matchup, some more NFC North fun. We got the Panthers and Bears. Bears at home at Soldiers Field. I hate doing it, but give me the Bears.
Bears.
I think the Panthers could, with the way they've been playing, taking down the Raiders, almost taking down the Bengals. I think the Panthers put up a good case, but that Bears defense is way too good. That Bears defense is so good. And, Carolina's defense isn't that great. I think Caleb Williams has a great game, a really good bounce-back game from his last couple. And I think the Bears defense really shuts down the Red Rifle, and it'll be a close game, I think. But I think the defense is going to make a few plays, and the Bears are going to come away with the dub.
The Bears.
Top Bears.
Yeah, this will be a close game. Defense is going to hold strong in Chicago. I'm going the Bears.
Top Bears.
The Bears.
All right, we got Ravens and Bengals. Give me the Ravens. I'm not even thinking about that. Ravens are... They've figured it out. They have figured it out.
Yeah, this is Ravens for me.
Hey, Lamar. Remember Isaiah Likely? You have him on your football team. Can you throw to him? Please?
Slight, maybe.
Thank you. I have him on my fantasy bench. Give me the Ravens.
All right, so our next game now. Okay, I'm tired of the Dolphins. I pick the Dolphins every week because I think they're going to get it. They're going to pull it together. They're finally going to start winning some games here. I'm doing it again. I'm going with the Dolphins against the Patriots again. Look, the Patriots are not that good. They started off the year hot, but it looks like the Bengals aren't too great, so we can't really look at that win as a sort of impressive win, especially because the Bengals didn't have T. Higgins. The Bengals' defense is also garbage, too. A high school team could score against that defense. The Patriots aren't good. The Dolphins, they had a quarterback that just got into town last week in Snoop Huntley. So I think another week under his belt, he kind of knows the system a little bit more. You still got Tyreek, you still got Waddle. Your defense is still, you got absolutely ran by the Titans. But I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. I know America's picked 56% of the Patriots, but I think the Dolphins are going to they're not going to fall to 1-4. They've got too much talent on offense to fall to 1-4, especially against the Patriots. I think, isn't that in division too? I want to say that's in division.
It's a divisional matchup.
It is. Wait,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. It's in division. It's in division. Dolphins, Bills, Pats, Jets.
Yep, it is in division.
Yep, it's an AFC East matchup.
Divisional matchup. You're going into Foxborough. I think the guys get it together. Give me the Dolphins.
Give me the Pats.
Okay.
Listen, the Pats are bad. The Dolphins are bad. Their defense looks, outside of Jalen Ramsey, and is not great. And yes, you have all that offensive talent, but your quarterback room is Stu Huntley, Tim Boyle, Skylar Mays. Not great. Drake May and Jacoby Brissett isn't that good either, but still give me the Pats to win. This Dolphins team is banged up. If Tua was healthy and this defense had anyone better than Jalen Ramsey, I'd pick the Dolphins, but the Pats could pull off a sneaky win, and they're in Foxborough too.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, that's a good reasoning right there. What are you going with, Michael?
This is tough because Dolphins, not good. I have Tyreek on fantasy, who's been a giant egg for the last part of few weeks now, and I don't know how the Dolphins got crushed by the Titans, especially since I can't stand Will Levis. And one of the big things with the Dolphins is, too, they've given up so many points over the last few games. Now, I think, have 103 points allowed. The Patriots have 67. So the Patriots are more in line. They're a stronger team. For that, I'm going the Patriots. I don't know if I can trust the Dolphins this week.
I can't trust the Dolphins.
Even though they have a team of talent,
yeah.
I just don't think I can trust them as of right now.
I don't think is it McDonald or McDaniels?
McDaniel.
Yeah.
McDonald was Seahawks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's so many Mike Micks. I don't think he's going to let him go down to 1-4. All right, our next game, the Washington and Cleveland Browns. I'm not calling them the Commanders. The Washington and Cleveland Browns. Washington is one of the best surprises and one of the best stories of the season so far. I think they're going to win. They're going to win. I'm saying it right here, right now. They're going to win the NFC East. They're going to win the NFC East. Yes. They are better than Dallas. They are better than New York. And they are better than the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll say that when they play an in-division opponent.
I'm saying it right now. They're better.
I will if they beat either the Eagles. If they can beat the Giants, big whoop. I think they're way better than the Giants. If they can beat either the Eagles or the Cowboys, I will say that they could win.
Their
the NFC
defense
East.
needs some help, and I think they can attack that at the trade deadline. Especially because, look, you're 3-1 right now. The Browns aren't too good. You're probably going to go to 4-1 after this. After you got to go get some help on defense. They probably will, and that offense is so good. They might take one on the chin to both the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think they'll split with each one. I think the home team wins each one. But, I mean, I love the Commanders, and until they prove me wrong and they start slipping, I'm going to go with the Commanders.
I'd want to see the football team in the playoffs too, but will I think it'll happen? I hope there's no collapse because I'm in love with Jaden Daniels.
He's so good.
And you look at all these offseason acquisitions, Eckler, Wagner, I forgot who. Outside of those two, I forgot. I know there's a lot of other big names that signed with the Commanders, plus Jaden Daniels, he drafted second overall. If this team can make the playoffs, I will be very happy because they had some very, it's like some Pistons signings, I call. Mm-hmm. Old veterans that could talk to these young guys and elevate them. The Commanders are the Pistons of the NFL.
Okay.
For that, I'm picking the Commies.
There it is.
I am all for Jaden Daniels in this offense right now. Give me the Commanders.
All right, we got Colts and Jaguars. Okay, Colts. I'm going Colts. I was going to say this is your upset of the week. I mean, there's a chance. The Jaguars, they have talent.
Doug Peterson is feeble.
I might switch to the Jaguars.
Feeble. He's not great. Doug Peterson is a terrible coach. Trevor Lawrence is not he is the high school bully looking Daniel Jones. This team is bad. I'm sorry. They need a new identity. They need a new coach. Give me the Colts. Give me the team. They bleed blue.
I'm going the Colts. Doug Peterson cannot coach this football team right now, and Jaguars fans are getting deja vu of somebody known as Urban Meyer.
Oh, boy. All right.
Who never should have came back to the NFL.
Nope.
Never.
We've got Bills. We've got Texans. This is a tough one to pick.
This is game of the week right here.
Yeah. No, this is the game.
Wow.
And it's at the 1 o'clock slate. That is criminal. And you put the Cowboys in primetime again, when this should be should be game of the week. This should either be America's game of the week, or this should be Sunday night's football. Wow. Not a 1 o'clock slate. This is going to be game of the week. Come on, NFL.
It could go either way. I think Texans win if they have Mixon. If Mixon's not playing, it's the Bills. I'm going to revisit this after we see the injury reports. I'm going Bills right now because Mixon is questionable. I hope he plays. He's on my fantasy team. But I'm going Bills for now. That is subject to change.
The Bills have the power of friendship. Give me the Bills.
Power of friendship. Bills are looking pretty good. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm probably going to wait for the injury reports as well. Then I will make a decision. But I'm going with the Bills. They're still a very good team. Why is this not the primetime game?
You got to
NFL, what are we doing?
You got to flex it. I mean, it's early in the season. You don't really flex games early in the season, but
true.
Everybody's going to be watching this game. I hope that's the main game on the TV.
I sure hope so.
I hope so, too.
All right, next game we have the Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Give me the Broncos. Raiders got some turmoil right now. Davante Adams requesting a trade. I mean, I guess we could kind of see it coming, but to see it actually official from Ian Rappaport, the Raiders, it's a little bit of trouble in paradise right now. They won last week, but it was not convincing, and it was against the Browns. Give me the Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to build off last week. They're playing at home. Last time, they were on the road against the Buccaneers. I'm stupid. Give me the Broncos. I think the Broncos they're gonna pull it out and become above 500.
This Broncos team has been a very big surprise. Henceforth, why I'm going with the Broncos. Once Davante Adams is gone, that will be the worst offense in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you have Davante Adams requesting a trade, it's not good vibes in Las Vegas right now.
No.
Give me the Broncos. They're going to surprise the Raiders.
Our next game, we got the Cardinals and I almost said 76ers. Oh, boy.
Oh,
49ers. I'm going with the 49ers. I think the Cardinals could put up a fight, but I think the 49ers they're starting to figure it out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Wow!
Ryan Donnelly upset of the week.
Oh, boy.
No!
That's good for the standings because he ain't winning this one.
I have to go with the Cardinals. I don't have to, but I'm choosing the Cardinals as my upset this week. Listen, you got so much momentum. This team could be something special. If Trey McBride comes back this week, that'll be huge for the Cardinals. But nonetheless, my Jets upset, which I'm so mad that he took, was going to be my upset. But I mean, there's not really any upsets I could have picked. It's the Cardinals.
There's an upset in every game that you could have picked.
Yeah, but I'm going the Cardinals this week. I'll take the L.
And Ryan, I want you to hold that L. Give me that 49ers.
It was either the Cardinals or the Giants, and I feel like the Cardinals have a way better chance than the Giants.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got Packers and Rams. I'm going Pack. I mean, they almost came back against the Vikings last week. Jordan Love's got another week under his belt after that injury. Give me the Packers. Jordan Love still looked good other than those picks. Take away the picks, he had a great game. So give me the Packers.
Unfortunately, I'm going to go with the Packers.
I'm going Packers. Jordan Love returning exactly what the Packers needed, and he's going to bounce back.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we have the New York Fighting Tonys against the Seattle Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. Bounce back week for the Hawks.
Seahawks are going to kill them.
This is not even a question. This is
Nobody should be watching this.
This
game.
is no doubt Seahawks. 4% of America, including Tony, picked the Giants because Tony DeLuca, however you say it.
DeLuca.
Anthony Nicholas DeLuca the Fourth.
I thought it was
there
DeLucia.
You go.
Oh, I thought it was. I don't know.
It's DeLucia.
I don't know. Maybe I don't.
Tony, how do you say your last name? Put it in the group
you
chat
right. The show,
put
dude.
it in the group chat right now.
But I will say, just in terms of the Giants, Tony DeLucia, if I'm saying it right, is
DeLuca.
DeLucia null?
Oh no, he watches the show. I know that. So
Tony,
what? How do you say your last name? I think it's DeLucia.
if it's DeLucia, Tony, with the Giants, you are DeLucia null.
Delusional.
Delusion.
Wait, Knowles, Seminoles. He's a Florida State fan.
What?
The Radio Shack headphones.
What?
It's not going great for Tony right now.
Yeah, his sports intake is not a healthy one right now.
It's not. He chose this.
All right.
I just dropped a double entendre without realizing
Yep.
it. Holy
Yep.
smokes!
All right, he sure does know football, doesn't he?
DeLucia's Knowles.
He probably invested in Mac Jones sports cards. Anyways, all right.
100%.
Next, we have the Dallas Cowgirls and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm siding with Isaac Haffenden on this one. Give me the Steelers. I think the Cowboys' defense is banged up. You see Justin Fields looking like the quarterback he should have been in Chicago. Who knows? The Steelers might have Devontae Adams by that time because I think that's a team that needs Devontae Adams. So who knows? Give me the Steelers. I think they're beating the Cowboys.
Steelers are at Acrisure. Cowboys
Heinz
are...
Field.
It's Heinz Field.
Yes. My apologies.
Thank you. The ketchup bottles.
Yes, the ketchup bottles. Yes, I much prefer Heinz Field over the other name. That
I also
we
prefer
won't-
Heinz ketchup over most ketchup brands.
Fair enough. I'm going Steelers. Cowboys are not a good team, and I hope the Lions beat them in Week 6.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Give me the Steelers.
Wow. Got the Cowboys fan going against his team.
Yeah, I have to. Like this Cowboys team is so hurt. Like Justin Fields played amazing on Sunday.
He
So
sure did.
I mean, if he keeps it up, I think the Steelers have no problem being the Cowboys.
Okay. All right. Well, there that is. And then we got Saints and Chiefs. Give me the Saints. Look, I've been high on the Saints. I think they're a good team. They've got a good offense. Had a little bit of a rough game last week. They're going to bring it back. They've got a good defense. They've got a good offense. Look, the Chiefs are banged up. They don't have anybody on offense. They have Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy. That's it. And when you have two of your best wide receivers down, and Travis Kelce has been completely taken out of the season, even though last week he had a somewhat normal game. The Chiefs, they're going to lose one, and it's going to be this one. I think the Saints go into Arrowhead and knock them off on Prime's time.
Give me the Saints too. Travis Kelce's washed. I hope you know that. I think the Saints are a sneaky team to win the NFC South. Even though they have 2 losses under the belt, one of them was close to a really good Eagles team. This Saints team is so good. Shout out Morgan Caudell, friend back from high school, big Saints fan. I believe in the Saints. I really do. Go Saints.
All right.
So I just want the Chiefs to lose also, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a game where the Chiefs are back at Arrowhead. They're on prime time. They're used to this prime time energy. And at some point, it's the NFL. You're going to lose games. And this is the one that the Chiefs are finally going to lose. I'm going with the Saints.
There we go.
Because I'm getting a little tired of seeing the Chiefs get bailed over and over again by the Zebras wearing black and white, and it
On
becomes the
primetime.
same old song and dance in primetime.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. I can't. I'm so tired of the Cowboys and the Chiefs just getting thrown in our faces every single week. Look, I think Monday Night Football with the Seahawks and the Lions is refreshing to most people. I think most people had that game on Monday night instead of Dolphins and Titans.
That also
Because-
felt refreshing at times because it wasn't the Cowboys or
right.
Chiefs.
We're not watching the same teams over and over again. I think we got to do better with our primetime scheduling, especially when you got a game like Bills and Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That should be the
I know
primetime game.
You can't flex Bills and Titans to Monday night. You really can't. But still, when you're making the schedule and you're trying to decide where to put these games, you gotta put I mean, before the season, we would have rather Bills and Texans over Saints and Chiefs, and that's
Right.
before we thought the Saints were good. So those are our picks. Picks are locked, boys. Right?
Yeah.
Picks are
Picks are
locked.
locked.
The
All right.
worst, you should put the Bills and the Texans as America's game of the week. So that's the worst you should do it. But my picks are also locked. I am tired of the NFL schedule makers for
Yeah.
putting all these stupid primetime games. It really does boils. it really boils my blood at seeing the Patriots or the Chiefs and old head NFL fan who, as a Brady fan, was happy to see Brady every week, but Chiefs and Cowboys, I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of them praising Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's a great quarterback, but stop praising him all the time.
There it is.
That's
all
where
right,
I am.
so our picks are locked, and that's all we have for today's show, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Card Guys, Season 3, Episode number 8 on 101.1 The Beat and YouTube. Stay tuned. We do not have a show on Monday. Wellness break. Our next show will be welcoming Omari Sankofa, Detroit Pistons beat writer from the Free Press, onto the program after the Pistons game at Breslin Center against the Phoenix Suns. So it's Suns-Pistons on Tuesday. Wednesday morning, we're going to have live reaction from the beat writer himself, Omari Sankofa, one of the last standing. James Edwards, one of my favorite, he left for the Knicks. Mike Curtis is with the Mavericks. See where some of these holes are filled in here on the Pistons beat, but Omari is still here, still fighting strong with the Pistons, and a good friend of mine. So I'm excited to welcome him onto the program. It's going to be a fun show, talk some Pistons, and he's a big football guy too, so we'll even pick his brain on some football as well. For my good buddies, Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying, have a good one, folks.
Still love you, Mom and Dad. See ya tomorrow afternoon.